Hi, Reddit Recapped here. Today, I'm going to tell you a collection of stories titled, I Feel Like I Killed My Mother. Enjoy our community stories. As always, stay safe and take care. I killed my mother. I know what you're thinking. Was it an accident? Did she die in childbirth? Did I drive the car that crashed? Was she trying to save me? You're wrong. I killed her in cold blood. I was meticulous about it, planned it out, and executed it without any remorse. I was 9 years old. Because of my age, they couldn't prosecute me or send me to kiddie prison. I was put on a secure psychiatric ward with little kids who cried all the time and scratched themselves. I had ice cream, my favorite TV shows, trips to the zoo, and my own one-on-one therapist Zach, who taught me magic tricks. All I had to do was point at dolls. When I was 18, I moved into a halfway house with a communal kitchen and a lounge and a warden who signed us in and out and locked up at midnight. At 21, I was free to go. My name had never been released, so I didn't need a new one, but I changed it anyway. I had a completely new identity, got myself a job in sales, and made a ton of commission in my first year. I'm the regional manager now, taking a piece of whatever the grunts below me make. My region is in the top 3 in the country. I've got a girlfriend who used to model in catalogs. We eat out 3 times a week and take mini breaks every couple of months. So, what happened? I just like to watch people hurt. I don't know why, but ever since I can remember, I've liked the feeling I get when I see pain on their faces. That's f***ed up, I know, but it's how I was born. Whatever genetic material bunched together to make me jammed in something, which means I feel warm inside when I hurt people. 100% nature. My mother, she hated me. I never smiled, and she'd shake me, asking me why. She'd cry, watching me in the park or at a birthday party when I'd sit by myself or hit the other kids. I heard her, in hushed tones, telling my father that she thought I was evil, that she didn't like to be alone with me, that she couldn't understand how Emily was so perfect and I was such a monster. That's when I decided to her. I'm telling you, I did not kill them. They simply vanished from their beautiful white picket fence, the same one where I lived a nightmare every day of my adolescence and early adult years. They went to the church, and I suffered all kinds of abuse except sexual because of their church. The people there told my father I, his firstborn son, was the Antichrist. He believed them. He convinced my mother to hate me too. They convinced my brother to hate me too. They were the perfect middle-class couple, always in church, always taking their sons to Disneyland and smiling for pictures. The preacher told them I could not be killed, but I could be weakened, so they weakened me. They put me in a cage in the basement like the filthiest of animals when I was 12. My brother was 10, and our birthday was in the same week. He got a video game and a bike. I got a kick in the mouth and a feast of my own feces. They told people I was studying abroad. No one cared about me enough to doubt them. No one could see through my brother's constant expression of terror. They would just feed me once a week. After all, they believed I couldn't die. They starved me and beat me nearly every day. I spent my days thinking about dying and repeating to myself every piece of information I knew up to that point. I wanted to escape someday, so I could not let myself become a retard. I was scared my brain would atrophy and I wouldn't be able to know who I was anymore. I don't know how I held my sense of self. I just repeated every single day the distance between the earth and the moon, how the primordial soup was like, and the 13 words in Spanish I knew, along with their meanings. Even after the son of bitch priest was put in jail for doing the same thing to other families, even after he died in prison, beaten to death because even the other inmates couldn't tolerate his sadism, my parents did not come to their senses. But at least my brother did. He was 16 and visited me in the middle of the night to beg for forgiveness. He never beat me, but he never did anything to help me either. Brendan would sneak in food and clean water for me. He gave me medicine and books, cleaned my cage, and turned on his TV out loud so I could have contact with the outside world. I was almost dead inside. I was hanging by a thread, nearly brainwashed enough to believe I was in fact the Antichrist and deserved to suffer. Brendan saved me that night and every other day of my life. My little brother has always been smart. He is my pride and joy. I begged him not to call the police because our father was a retired cop and they wouldn't believe us. It would just ruin my brother's life and make my situation worse once again. Getting to eat my brother's cuisine was the best part of my life in the last 6 years. At first, the meals he brought me consisted of instant noodles, but he quickly learned to make really nice food just for my sake. My little brother had always been smart. While in high school, he founded his own startup, and by the time he was 18, he was able to buy his own house and move out. He secretly took me with him, paid for my therapy, and gave me dignity. I don't deserve him. I almost feel bad for dragging him into this. Like I said, I didn't kill my parents. That would be too good for them. I just disabled all their movements, soothed shut their mouths, and left them in my basement. I'm the one who starves them and beat them now. I have a few years to catch up on. May 2017, I took my mom to her doctor because she got extremely sick almost overnight. They sent her to the hospital because she has a seizure-like spell. After a week of being there, they figured out that her breast cancer came back and moved to her liver and quickly later moved to her bones. After staying in the hospital with her for a month, realizing 6 months was a perfect wish I would never get, they released her to hospice care. While being at the hospital, I saw what kidney failure looked like. I saw little things and learned. I helped take care of her at home. I knew what was going to happen, and I think that was the worst part. Exactly a month after getting out of the hospital, I realized her kidneys were starting to fail again. She was in pain and wasn't able to sleep. I decided to call the 24-hour number, and they instructed me to give her a dose of liquid morphine. 1 hour later, she was still in pain. I panicked and gave her another dose. As I gave it to her, she said no. It was too late. It was already done. My dad convinced me to go to sleep. He would watch her. 1 hour into sleep, he woke me up. She was gone. I never told anyone this. It has eaten me up. I know it's not my fault, but I still hurt. I feel like I will always blame myself. Friday is her birthday, and I wish she could be here. I wish she would have been here for one more holiday. One more. I love you, Mom, more than anything. This marks the end of the first part of the collection of stories titled, I Feel Like I Killed My Mother. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe to see more videos like this. Turn on your notifications and leave a comment to help the channel grow. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for part 2.